Hi, it's John Barban here. This is just a warning that the audio on this interview, my audio on this interview, is not very good. You'll notice I just sound kind of echoey. My mic wasn't working. But Brad and Zach sound really good. Their mics are working. And Zach's story is so profound that I think you'll get a lot out of this interview if you just sort of put up with, how my audio doesn't sound that good. But Zach is the person to really listen to in this interview because it's his story that matters. He lost 240 pounds and he talks all about how he does it. So hopefully you can just bear with my audio not sounding that great. But Zach's story is definitely worth listening to, and hopefully you'll get something out of it.
Bringing you a reasoned approach to health and fitness. This is the Phi Life Podcast.
Welcome to the Phi Life Podcast. With me is Brad Pilon and a special guest, Zach Zion. So Zach reached out to me on our Phi Life email, which anyone can use if you want, and pointed out that he had lost an astounding amount of weight. I think, what did you say, 240 pounds, I think it was?
Yeah.
Is that, and he just said, it's not like we convinced him to do it. He did it on his own, but just wanted to point out that some of the logic of our show helped maybe concretize the process for him. And so I asked, do you want to be on the show to tell your story? Because losing that much weight is so rare. And I think people would benefit from hearing how that happens, because people maybe have heard, oh, people can lose that much weight, but you just want to hear from the person, like how it actually happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I've done these type of interviews before, and it's always fascinating. It's just every single story is worth hearing. It's going to motivate somebody. It's going to help somebody to hear how it happened. So I'm going to lead you here and just kind of go wherever we go. So I guess the first place to start is how old are you? How tall are you? And what age did you hit your peak weight? And what was that weight?
Okay, so I'm 26 years old and I'm 6'2". So I reached my peak weight. I want to say 23 would be my guess. So my peak weight was, I'm not sure exactly, but I did weigh myself one day at work and it was 420 pounds on the scale. So I'm assuming it was around there somewhere. So
Right.
Now, were you always kind of a quote bigger kid in high school, or like?
Oh yeah. No, entire life I've always been obese. So,
okay. So 23 you get to 420. Okay. So, and as we've stated, you lost what? How much do you weigh right now?
So right now I weigh 195 is where I feel the best. So
wow.
That's 6'2". That's a good weight.
That's actually a really good, from our calculations, that's a really good number for your height. So you'd be in a range, we would say, let's just stay there. It's a good range. So that's a ton of weight. We're talking well over 200 pounds. So, give us the impetus, the reason, when did you just decide this has to change? Like, talk us through that process.
Well, it's definitely not fun. And, whenever you see yourself, you're not happy with what you see. Right. I guess one day I looked at myself sideways and realized, like, wow, I'm sticking out pretty far. Really what it was. I was like, oh, wow, I need to do something about that, and then, being 300 is one thing, but then seeing the scale go past 400, that's, it's really bad. So kind of started there.
So at your height, a guy can pull off, to some degree, 300-ish at 6'2". Like it's doable, but like you're saying that you got to a size where you notice, okay, we just can't do this anymore. Yeah. Did you feel like, did it all kind of feel the same, or were you having actual, symptoms? Were you just tired, lethargic, hard to move around, anything like that?
I was always tired, but I also drank and smoked too. So, I don't know.
That would help. Yeah.
You couldn't really tell. Yeah. So you couldn't really tell. And then, I feel better now, but you don't really feel, I didn't feel terrible when I was at 400. At least I don't remember feeling that terrible. So, but
right. So it's sort of like it creeps up and you don't notice. It's just normalized.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't realize that it's happening and while it's happening. So,
right. All right. Yeah. So you catch a glimpse of yourself. You're like, this isn't good enough. So then how do you even think your way through? How do you start making a change?
how did I start making a change? So it actually started. I bought an Apple Watch, and I was going through the features, realized that you're able to track the calories that you burn on this Apple Watch. Mm-hmm. So I looked at that, and I was regularly burning around 3,000 calories a day just at work, just doing bare minimum.
Makes sense. Yep.
So I figured, like, if I'm burning 3,000 calories in a day, and if I just do that and I just maintain my weight where it's at right now, but I was gaining weight at the time. So I realized I'm eating in excess of that to get to where I'm going. So I'm literally eating almost double what a person should be eating my size. So I realized at that point, like, I need to do something about this, right? If I'm eating twice what a normal person should be eating. So with my Apple Watch, I was able to count the calories, and so I would build and weigh meals, or I'd eat beans or lentils or whatever. I'd weigh it, and I'd something that I could get in high volume, but low calorie meals, right? So it's super filling, but
volumetrics approach, just bulky food with less calories.
Yeah, exactly. So I was doing that for a while, and I lost about 100 pounds that way, and then.
Well, you go quick. How long did that take?
Oh, that took about a year. It took about a year.
And that's reasonable. I mean, that's still fast for a year, but that's impressive.
Yeah, so far all the numbers make sense, right? Like, so, 195 at 6'2" is right kind of where John and I would put you in our metrics. A daily calorie burn of just a bit under 3,000 makes sense at 6'2", and then dropping 100 pounds in a year, while amazing, also, from a math point of view, is definitely doable. So very impressive.
Thank you.
Yep. And that was just sticking to your calorie counting and weighing and just being diligent.
Yeah, I was just doing that. And I mean, at first I wasn't entirely that consistent either. So, I mean, I'm still 400 and I just got to 300 that way. So, I mean, I'm still, doing more than I should so far as eating goes. But,
at that point, do you sense like that's a massive change? Do you have a feeling of momentum? You're like, oh man, I can really push this thing around. Like I can really make this happen.
What's funny is I didn't really notice from 400 to 300. Really? I mean, seriously, just did not pay attention to it that much. And then one day someone said, "You're losing weight." I said, "No." And then it just happened to. I had pictures of myself on my phone. I would compare. I was like, "Oh, I guess I have lost weight," and didn't even really realize it.
That's kind of an awesome story that you didn't notice, or at least you just weren't really.
Well, because you live in it every day, so it makes sense.
That's over half of me, and you weren't sure if it was really happening. Well, I'm glad somebody pointed it out and you noticed. So then at that point, did that have any psychological impact, or were you just chugging along? Did you have a target weight in mind?
Not at that time. I didn't. And I kind of stagnated at around the 300 mark, and I would still overeat, but I was stuck at the 300 range, which is better than 400, right? But
definitely.
And then I was watching your Ron Brooks show, and he mentioned something about Ozempic and how Ozempic patients were losing weight, and it might be worth looking into if you're overweight. And so I started investigating that, found out about the injections, right, and started taking Zepbound injections is what I started doing.
So Tirzepatide.
Yeah. And at that point, that's what totally set me on course. So that eliminated, it totally just eliminated. It was so uncomfortable to eat at first. So you would have to force yourself to eat on it, right? So I realized, okay, if I'm
titrate up like they suggest, like smaller doses up to the max. Did you even get to the max dose?
Yeah, I didn't even get to the max dose. I got to 7.5 milligrams is what I was.
Wow.
No, that's as high as I got was the 7.5. And what's it called? Yeah, and I slowly built up to it. I was doing an online thing that they just slowly would ramp it up and they would review it. So
how long? Tell me this: how long did you take to ramp to it? Even just the 7.5?
Oh,
a couple months.
I don't know. Oh no, it took long to get to the 7.5. That took around, I want to say, 6 months to get to that.
Yeah, this is how you're supposed to do it. Like you're doing it. That's how you do. Because did you have any symptoms along the way, like the nausea or anything? Or?
No, not really. I didn't really notice any of the. not, I don't know.
Nothing major, right? Yeah.
Nothing major. I mean, I guess if I would cut like super hard, yeah, you'd start to feel a little woozy, but I mean,
okay, so
kind
this
of
is
maintained in a way.
right. So this is super interesting. This is you did 100 pounds without Tirzepatide, and you do 100 plus more with it. Can you tell us the difference of how those two things felt?
Yeah. So, well, okay. So with the injections, I mean, you feel full, and you feel full just drinking water, right? So you're having to force yourself to eat. You're having to force yourself to eat. So I realized if I'm going to have to force myself to eat, I'm going to force myself to eat only things that are good for me anyway, because I don't want to eat any of it, right? So,
Right.
So what I actually did is I utilized AI. So I would go to ChatGPT and I would say, hey, build me a meal plan with this many calories. I want to keep these things in mind. Like, I don't want any added sugar. I don't want any of this or that. I'd had to go through and build me this, give me the macros for this, give me the weights, build a shopping list. It walked me through the whole thing. So I did that for seriously the next, it would be about a year that I lost that 140 pounds is how I did that. So just consulting it, having it build me recipes. So
I like the casual he says it. Yeah, and then another 140 in the next year.
But I just love it's like the story of 2025, right? Like if you've combined the breakthrough weight loss drugs with the ability to use ChatGPT for good and be like, you know what, I can make this thing make me a shopping list, a grocery list, recipes, and I can plug in the requirements I have and it spits it out. And I just feel like that's the usefulness of ChatGPT. It's not just this dangerous thing or things kids use to cheat in high school. It has a really big value if you use it properly. That's cool.
Oh, yeah. And you can take that so much further. I don't know if you did stuff like do blood tests and you can plug it in there and just say, do you think I need to add in a supplement, or did you do any of that? Or no, you just kind of...
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that. I actually just did that. So I actually just did a blood test, and the healthcare where I'm at isn't the best, right? So I take my results because I can't interpret them. I don't know what they mean, right? Plugged it into ChatGPT, and it tells me everything is good. So,
I bet it looks great right now. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the doctor said it was good, but I mean, the ChatGPT gave me a more thorough answer. So
you can keep asking it too. And maybe this is turning into a bit of a ChatGPT story. You can keep asking it more and more detailed questions. Now you can cross-reference that and see if you get the same answer on a few other things or just a Google search. But I found we use it a lot, and I found it's pretty accurate. And I've brought those results to my cardiologist, some of my physicians, and I'm like, what do you think here? And like, that's kind of right on the button. So it's getting better by the day. So I would, for general simple stuff like that, I think it's a pretty reliable tool to give you a guide of where you are if you just plug in your data, if you're comfortable putting it.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So are you still, did your sense of how you say when you're on Tirzepatide, you just don't feel like eating, has that ever changed? Has that normalized into something different now?
Yeah, so I have noticed, so like I don't get the hunger pains that I used to, like,
nice.
Like when I was fat, like I would remember I would just constantly be thinking about food, I'd be hungry, right? Once I got hungry when I was fat, like, I mean, you couldn't settle that, right? But that's gone away. That's entirely gone away. I don't crave alcohol at all. I haven't since I started taking the injections. So, I mean, that's gone.
That's huge.
And can you directly relate that to the Tirzepatide?
Absolutely. I mean, because I drank up until I started taking that. So
even during the 100-pound weight loss?
Yeah, even during the 100-pound, I was kind of cool.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Okay, so then do you resent that? Do you miss it? Do you care?
Well, now, I mean, I can't stand it, really. I mean, I hate it. But, I mean, I just hate being around it now. It's totally different. My focus is totally different, right? So,
yeah, makes sense.
I mean, I don't enjoy going to bars. Like, I don't. Like, I mean, I used to. I can't stand it. I hate it. I hate drinking to that level. I mean,
and so you can't even bring yourself to just sip on a cocktail to just be social. I mean, I don't even do that. But
John doesn't either. Yeah,
I don't do that at all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that I haven't, but I mean, because I got a lot of friends and family that really enjoy it, and they kind of twist your arm into it, and that's one thing I've been fighting.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
if you really don't want to, don't ever put anything in your body just because someone else socially pressured.
Oh,
But the social pressures are legit, eh? Like, yeah.
they are very legit.
They're still gonna accept you, but that's one where me and Brad at least will back you up. Just take a stand. They're saying, no, I'm good with just water, whatever. And it's like I'm still here. I'm still with you guys. I'm just not putting that in my body.
Yeah, and it's been trying to rediscover how to reintroduce that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a kind of hard.
Yeah.
I'm still figuring out how to do that, but
Mhm.
no, I mean I cannot stand. I can't even finish a beer. It's like eating a whole loaf of bread now compared to
Wow.
how it was before. I mean, I'd slam beers before, but now I mean I can't.
Isn't it
I can't handle
great? Is this not? I know
one,
people listening
so.
who've not taken Ozempic or Tirzepatide don't understand how monumentally different this feeling is. Like, did you?
Oh yeah.
I know you hear they speak about the food noise getting quiet. Is that? Did you experience something that could be described like that? Or
Yeah, absolutely. It wasn't just food noise. I mean, it would be just cravings in general. I know as soon as I started taking it, my craving for caffeine just went out the window. It's gone entirely.
Really? So coffee's just not a thing. Wow.
Not a thing. And that's actually, so I've been pretty consistent on that. I haven't had, I'm sure it broken at least like once or twice, but I mean, I haven't drank in any caffeine since starting the injections either. So
did you miss that, or you don't notice that either?
no. And I've actually noticed once I quit caffeine, just how much sharper and how much more focused, how much less tired I was from.
That's so
Really?
funny because
Yeah.
everyone takes caffeine for sharpness and focus.
Well, I felt more of a difference from doing that. I could notice more of an immediate difference from doing that than I did from losing weight. The first 100
wow.
pounds.
You
I don't
mean
know
just
about
the way,
the second.
just your feeling, like you're interacting as
Just-
like a conscious person, right?
Yep, just my energy in general. I mean, that the most noticeable change in that was from drinking or quitting caffeine for me. So
Huh.
Unbelievable. They got to study you. This is awesome. And then you said you
Yeah.
smoked. You still smoke?
yeah, so that's my one vice that I'm still trying to break, and I'm doing a lot better now. So
Did Tirzepatide
Cigarettes.
have any effect on that? I've heard it can.
so it did, not quite as strongly as the alcohol, but it definitely did. But yeah,
Interesting.
Well, you're making
Not-
serious strides. I mean, this is a massive turn. You can get, if you want to quit that. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't, but if you want to, you can definitely give yourself a bigger runway. You've tackled a massive overhaul already, like the weight change, the getting rid of caffeine, the not drinking alcohol. Like that's a huge. My goodness, that's a massive difference. So
Yeah.
right.
give yourself some time. If cigarettes is the next thing to tackle, give yourself time. It's you've got a long runway and you're so young. Your body's resilient.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Now, did you do? We've talked diet most. Did you do this mostly through dietary intervention, or did you change exercise movement patterns at all? Or
No, I did this entirely through diet, and
that's
I
awesome.
I don't exercise at all outside of just what I do at work. So I'm moderately active at work, and
Nice.
I still to this day burn around 2,700 to 3,000 calories a day or more just from
Yeah,
work.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Do you have
I
any?
weigh half the weight.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
So-
Do you have any plan to start an exercise routine? Or you just don't care.
Well, I'm not trying to necessarily get shredded or anything like that, but I also don't have the time. So
Yeah.
my work day looks like, so with the commute, with the amount of time I spend at work, I'm gone 16 hours a day.
Yeah.
Wow.
at work.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Say no more. There's no room for.
No. Yeah.
There's really not, and it's, I like to work a lot of overtime too, so I'm really never home. So it's, I don't know how to work that.
No,
in.
just a question. We're going to ask that one regardless, but this is a note to anyone watching. If you're watching here, you don't have to exercise to lose weight, and it's not like Zach's wasting away. I'm sure if we put him in a DEXA, he'd have the normal amount of muscle mass we'd expect on someone his height who doesn't work out, but is just active. I'm sure you're right in the normal range. So that's a narrative that people tend to not want to believe, that you can just calorie count your way to weight loss, and somehow that's not. People want to believe that's not healthy, but that's just not the case. Like it can totally work, and you're a living proof of that. I mean, everything got better. Your blood work got better, you feel better. Like that's the most important part. You actually feel better.
Yeah. And I mean, that's seriously all that I did. So I was, just plugged it into ChatGPT, said, hey, give me something that's well balanced. And I guess my diet, you'd say, is I've had it described as paleo adjacent. So it's not strict. It's not, it's not strictly paleo, because I'm not entirely like opposed to processed foods or anything like that, but I mean, it just happens to be what I am eating is pretty similar to that. So,
yeah.
I mean, if we were just going to guess at it, it'd probably cut out a bunch of carbs and a bunch of sugar. And because that's the thing we can all overeat the most of.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
it's difficult to overeat steak, especially in this economy, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, are you surprised at how sort of, I almost want to say mundane the process is for such astounding results?
Well, yeah. And I think, I don't know. It was really revealing. I was like, wow, seriously, it's that simple to do.
Yeah. You just got to do it, right?
Yeah, it's just a matter of doing it. But I mean, there's not a lot of, and this is something I don't think people realize, is there's not a lot of material or support for people that are overweight to figure out how to do this on their own, really. Or at least it's not provided like that. I mean, I took a different approach, and just through ChatGPT, like how do you actually lose weight safely, and I follow that procedure. And then I happened to be watching one of your podcasts, and it just exactly aligned with everything that I was experiencing. So
amazing.
There is that too. But it's interesting. So like I went to a healthcare provider. I remember when I was overweight, I went to a healthcare provider, and this has happened multiple times, but I said, okay, I'm serious about losing weight. I want to lose weight. I want to know how to do that. What is a appropriate target for me? How do I get there? And their response is, we're not going to tell you that.
What? Really?
They actually said that?
They said that. So I said, what is my target weight? What's a healthy weight for me? And he said, I'm not going to tell you that. That's not what I do. I'm just going to help you get to where you want to be. He's like, no, I don't know where I need to be. I need you to tell me where am I supposed to be,
Wow. What is that, Brad? Why?
That is just like the fear of telling you how you're supposed to look, right? And we're supposed to be all inclusive, and even though you're coming for help and some guidance, people are just too afraid to give those numbers, right? So
people. You said people. These are physicians. They shouldn't.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah. There's the one was my doctor, and it's like literally, and this isn't just one doctor. This is multiple doctors that I've gone to.
Yeah. So they just need to slap
the
the wind on their own. Just
I
don't know, figure it out. There is no number. And then, okay,
exactly.
so this is the problem. If you want to lose weight and you go to what you perceive as, or what society would suggest is the professional who cares about your health, and you get I don't know, I'm not telling you answer. Yeah. Well, then now you're in the disaster of trying to figure it out on your own, going online, and you'll get every single opinion from PhDs and people with some kind of credential. Like even me and Brad, we coached a lot of people through. We have our opinion. I think we're right, but you're going to get people who sound very, very credible saying the complete opposite things, and you're left to do what? You just don't. I mean, tell me this: you must have got to first principles, right? And just thought, okay, there's got to be. Forget the paleo this or macronutrient ratioing that. There's got to be a first principle here. It's got to be just energy in and out. Can that not be the start? Is that where you got to with this?
Pretty much. So, and like I mentioned, I think I watched one of your podcasts, and I had started noticing this, right? Because when I lost the initial 100 pounds, that's how I did it, was by counting calories, right? So I noticed, okay, this actually works, and it started with the watch, and then I also bought a Withings scale, so it matches, so that pairs up in the Apple Health app, right? So
cool.
So it tracks your biometric data that it scans through your feet. I don't know how accurate it is. I've read reports that it's not necessarily that accurate, but it's reading something, right? So
exactly,
and it's reading your weight, and then that weight is being used in the calculations by the Apple Watch to more accurately determine what your actual calories burned are and all that. So
very smart.
Well, all that matters there is relativity. if your data is changing, it doesn't matter absolute numbers, it just matters relative. And that's
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep,
that's
exactly.
Really cool,
so I started doing that, and I noticed, okay, this is working. If I count my calories that I'm burning and stay less than that, I am noticing it on the scale. Like I can see it happening, and it was happening so fast that you kind of get addicted to that feeling. Like, okay, like I'm actually seeing results.
Progress,
see
right?
results. I can see results in a month. Like that's how fast it's happening. So
it's the forward momentum just builds on itself. A lot of people just don't get to the point where they can sense that momentum. Like we've coached enough people, we know that happens, but it's like you got to get to that part to start actually, instead of reluctantly doing this, you're almost drawn to it now because I can actually affect this thing. For the first time, I can really make this thing move.
Yeah. And I guess with the diet, the biggest change I noticed the soonest was from absolute just cutting added sugar, and just totally eliminating added sugar. That, I mean, immediately I felt 10 times better. So, I mean,
really,
I would recommend starting with that. And there's been a couple of coworkers that I've gotten started and they've lost quite a bit of weight, and I started them on that, and that's kind of.
Oh, did you? Did you know that if you lose weight, you become a weight loss expert?
Right.
Everybody comes to you
because I don't know if you understand how rare what you just did is. So everyone's going to look at you going, well, he knows something. Like he knows something big, because nobody changes like that. Like if you go to a gym for 10 years, everyone in the gym looks the same. 10 years later, no one actually changes. And then the one or two people who change, everybody notices. And then they immediately want to know, like, what'd you do? And when you give them the benign answer, I count calories, you know how many people are, no matter what they say to your face, they're going to walk away saying that, no, he didn't do that. You had to.
I know. Oh yeah, and they do that. And I've heard a million different rumors. AIDS, cancer, cocaine. I've heard of them.
Really?
Amazing.
Oh yeah. Not everyone's happy for you, but
no, that's true, right? Yeah.
That's the worst. Yeah, tell us that. Have you had detractors who don't want to just be happy for you?
Well, that's one of the biggest things that I realized is the social aspects of it, right? That was something that I learned the most, was about how people work.
Really?
And I think you guys touched on that in one of your podcasts, the fake outrage towards the injection users. And I think you're absolutely right. I just think it highlights people's own insecurities, right? And they'll do anything they can to undermine you. I have noticed that, but at the same time, it's been really revealing of the people that are actually supportive, that are actually, beneficial to have in your life. So, yeah,
and you'll never know. Some of your closest people could be your saboteurs, and just somebody who sees you at a cafe on a regular basis ends up being your biggest supporter. You wouldn't know.
Yep, and there's been plenty of people that have, and most people I deal with, they've been very supportive, so that's nice. That's but there's definitely the social aspects of it is something that I didn't realize was going to happen. Another thing I noticed is how much more seriously people take you once you're
really
healthier looking. Yep, and 9-day difference. And it's interesting. The same people I think don't recognize me, don't realize who I am. They treat me differently from when I was fat versus how I am now. So
wow.
They're talking to a completely different person, but they're not. It's still me. So it's interesting.
That is
cool.
Do
you just get that that's a thing that's built into us, or do you have a sense of resentment for that?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's interesting. I don't think any less of people that are overweight, because I've been there. I understand that this person just doesn't know how to get out of that, more than likely, I mean, not that every overweight person is just ignorant, of course there's the lazy ones, right? But I don't necessarily resent someone just because they're overweight.
No, I don't mean that. I mean resent the people treating you differently because of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a revelation of how insecure they are, and I mean, what do they have to gain by doing what, by
that's a funny thing, right? Like it's a them problem, not a you problem.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
It's more a revelation that they got something going on, so I don't really care what they think. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's
End of the day, what people think about you is just a reflection of themselves and has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
But it is interesting how it comes out, and you can kind of
It is.
tell. You're like, yeah.
It's been really interesting. So
yeah, for guys, we call that the Adonis effect. The closer you get to a particular, just a smaller waist and wider shoulders, you just get more respect. You didn't do anything. We are just psychologically programmed to see what we think is a healthier body and give that person more respect. And we're programmed to assume some amount of weight. And nobody really knows how big, but at some point you get big enough that people just inadvertently, subconsciously treat you with less respect. And it's just, you didn't do anything. It's, like you said, you're the same person, but I think it's just hardwired into us, and we have to, like, you've been there. So it's you probably won't do it to anybody because you know what it feels like. But a lot of people just they don't know they're even doing it. But it still happens, which sucks. And then when someone goes through a change as big as yours, I don't think people realize your lens of the world changed big time. Like and people don't know that. They think you're just lighter. You're like, no. Everything changed. Like everything changed.
Yeah. It's been interesting. Really, really revealing. Really learned a lot about how people work. So. Was that side of it too? So. I don't think anyone anticipates. Maybe tell me this: did you anticipate you'd learn more about other people than even maybe yourself just doing this? No, I had no idea, and I'd say that might have been the biggest, one of the bigger hurdles. Right, was the other people, and that I had no idea going into this that that's predominantly where that was coming, and then. A lot of the relationships I had with people are the reason that I was in that situation to begin with, right? So another thing that was really hard and that I really had to dial in on was, okay, so me spending time with these certain people, they expose me to certain habits or certain ways of eating or drinking or whatever.
Yep.
I can't spend time with those people, if I'm trying to do this and they undermine that, I can't be doing that. So,
and they want you to stay the same, right? Because they like you. You're probably the big fun guy, right? And they want you to be that guy. Yeah,
exactly.
That's another thing. It places a certain degree of stress on them, if maybe even psychological stress, whatever, to have to recategorize you in their thoughts of who in my circle of friends. All of a sudden, Zach's not the big guy anymore. He's what is he now? Is he the fit guy? He's like, what? How do I fit him in here? And now you're actually causing them to have to do even a little bit of mental work, which they don't want to have to do.
Right. I can imagine doing it via just exercise too is aggravating for a lot. Sorry, just nutrition is aggravating for a lot of people because they just want to say, wow, Zach just started running and he killed it in the gym, and it still removes the need for discipline in how you eat and just the mundane consistency of eating day in, day out. But then it also reflects on anyone who hasn't lost weight because the excuse is usually, I just don't have time to work out. That's why I look like this. And then it's like, well, you did it, Zach, and look what he did, right? So the diet part, it's probably really interesting for a lot of people realizing when they find out that's how you did it.
And I think something that some people don't understand is they see it like, oh, you crossed this finish line. Now you're ready to come back. And no, it's not how it works. This is permanent. I can't be doing the things I was doing before, and that's
you just go back to looking the way you did before, right?
Like exactly. Yep.
And that's, Brad, you bring that up all the time. Glad you mentioned that, Zach.
Yeah.
That is, I don't know why people think that. They're like, oh, well, when you go now, well, you're just going to gain the weight if you go back to doing all that.
Oh, I know. Exactly. It doesn't matter if it's Tirzepatide, exercise, nutrition, anything. It's you stop, you just go back. And you're like, well, that's the same with anything else in life, right? Yeah, everything. So you're right. This is a lifetime change. And now it's your job to kind of figure out how to maintain it as easily as possible. But it'll never be by crushing beers with your buddies and eating the way you used to, right? So
yeah, exactly. So,
and it'll evolve. Like the way you manage this moving forward will evolve over time. Your body's just going to change over time anyways. So your tolerances for, I don't know, did you gain or lose a sweet tooth or a salty tooth?
Not really. I don't know. I've never really had a sweet tooth.
No, eh?
No, I mean, really.
You're a savory guy?
Yeah, so I mean, I was more fat because I was eating like ribs and stuff like that. You know, I wasn't candy and stuff like that. So
You at least do it with the good stuff, right?
yeah, right. But I mean, I did drink a lot, so I mean, that's a lot of sugar too. So I don't, but I never.
No, some people
really
just
noticed
all of a sudden don't eat sweets anymore. Some people can't tolerate a certain. I don't know. It's just it's everybody reacts differently. That's just why I asked.
Oh, I haven't really noticed. I mean, I haven't really had anything with like a lot of sugar since I've done this either. So I don't.
It'll taste so sweet. It's amazing how different. Yeah.
Well, this was something interesting. So when I just absolutely eliminated added sugar, right, and then I didn't have any sugar for a while, and then I had a fruit. So like I went and I bought an apple, just a regular apple, you know. And before when I was fat, this is just an apple, no. But when I had this apple after I haven't had added sugar or anything, it was the best thing I've ever had. You know, I was like, it's
so sweet, right? Yeah,
it was so good.
You're like, did I buy a candy apple or is this just an apple?
Yeah, like seriously, like it was that good. But you know, before, I mean, you never even notice that just because you're so used to the sugar that it just tastes bland or whatever.
Is that the first time you've experienced that?
With that, yeah, that's the first time I've ever experienced that. So,
yeah, we've had a few people do that where they cut back or cut out sugar entirely, then introduce just a piece of fruit at some point in the future, and it blows them away, like how sweet it actually is. And that also shows you just become accustomed to things.
Yep, you do. Coffee is just always the best example for me, right? Cutting down from 2 sugars to 1 sugar to no sugar in your coffee. And if by mistake one day you get one with 2 sugars in it, it's like you just had ice cream. It's so sweet. And you just realize, wow, I just got used to this flavor. This level of sweetness became sort of the base level. But if you can cut out a lot of added sugar for a while, then everything just tastes naturally sweeter and you don't miss it.
So what is so as far as me and Brad are concerned, you're at a weight that's appropriate for your height. We think it's anywhere in that range is fine. You could be 200, you could be 180, anything like that. It's all that works at your height as far as our numbers would say. Do you have, so you're not actually actively trying to lose even more weight? Are you in your thought process, do you like this kind of, we call it like a little bit like a target, like a 10, 15 pound target to just hover around? What's your plan to maintain that now? Are you going to pull back on Tirzepatide, stretch out your shots, go lower dose, try to see what happens?
No, actually, so I completely stopped taking the shots a couple of months back, and I've been maintaining just on my own for the last couple of months.
Good job, man.
Okay, so tell me, and hang on, we can't gloss over that. How did that feel? Because you said you just don't feel like drinking, and food, you just don't feel like eating. Did any of that come back? Like, to any degree? Like, tell me the difference in feeling. I know it's only been 2 months, so it's barely just cleared your system within the last 5 or 6 weeks, but what's the feeling?
Okay, so it is interesting. So the hunger pains and all those have not come back. I don't have any no cravings for alcohol or anything like that. What I do notice is if I do smoke, I do get a hunger craving now.
Interesting.
If I introduce something external into, I do start to get some of the bad habits, some of the bad cravings again. But if I can stay away from those, I'm able to maintain on my own. So
interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
There is that. I haven't relapsed, not entirely. So I wasn't entirely sure what a target weight I should aim for. So when I initially was at that point where I got down to 175 as low as I got.
Wow. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a bit light.
Too light.
Yeah.
Too light. Yeah. Well, I found that out the hard way. So I found out this is too light. So yeah. So
well, you know what though? That's actually a good exercise to go through because you've experienced what's too much, and you've in this go at it, you've inadvertently, maybe not on purpose, also experienced too light because I would say for sure that's too light for your height. Yep. And so you've kind of got a touch of that feeling too. So now, hopefully, that helps you perceive what feels about the right spot-ish.
Yeah, no, it was actually Yeah, it wasn't good doing that, but I mean, I know where the limit is, right? So I like to keep it 185 to 195 is my target range now.
Fine.
So
Good range.
and I've
Like it. Yeah.
been maintaining that. So I got to from 175, I backed it off, and I got to I think I got back to like 205, and then went down to 185. So I'm doing that, bouncing around within the 10-pound range. So
Smart. Yeah.
just been maintaining that. So
And on a
Yeah,
rolling month to month, 6-month basis, that's how we do it. We tell people, you're 10 pounds either way, you're kind of okay. If you're creeping up to 15 and 20, you're like, oh, okay, this isn't my normal hovering around the bullseye. Now I'm starting to get to the edges of the dartboard. Like if you start gaining 20-ish pounds, but that's the way me and Brad would suggest view it. Like you're not, nobody is a weight. Nobody's an exact weight. You're a range of around, and a bigger guy like you, like 6'2", that's easily a 10-pound window throughout the year. Whereas someone who's like 5'4", it's maybe a 2-pound, 3-pound window, but it's still a window. It's not a dot.
Yeah. And so something I did do, I noticed, I'm very observant. So I was paying attention to some of my coworkers that are healthier, and I just noticed that seemed to be what they would do. I noticed, okay, these healthy people, they'll gain, they'll lose, and it's just constant back and forth that they're doing. So I've been paying attention to that as well, and I've noticed that it seems to be working. Yeah.
So you're 2 months clear of tirzepatide. You're managing to hover right in your target weight range. Do you have any reservations of using it again when you need to? Or do you have a sense you'd rather? Because now you've got proof that you can do it both ways. You know what both ways feel like. Is it just going to be a tool in your toolbox whenever needed, when you perceive it's needed?
Yeah, I'm all for it. I mean, seriously, why would you, if you can use it, why would you not use it?
Yeah, exactly.
Like seriously, it eliminates hunger pains. It makes, it does make it easier. It does. I mean, why are you going to suffer and do it the hard way for no reason? I don't understand that. It doesn't.
And being 420 pounds was not easy, right? Like it was.
No, it was.
This is definitely an improvement.
Even with the injections, it wasn't easy, So
and yes, it has side effects, but I'd say the side effects of being too heavy are worse. Yeah. And the side effects of tirzepatide are very minimal. And you're not even at the highest dose. So I think we're going to find out so many more people it's going to become more and more acceptable and less criticized. It should never be criticized. It's unfortunate that it is, but I think it's just going to become more obvious that the healthy move is to get into a healthy weight range if you need tirzepatide, fine, do it. It's getting to the weight range is the goal.
Yeah, no, I think it's amazing. I think they've cured obesity if they wanted to. I mean, it's just a matter of people are scared of it. There's a lot of misinformation out there about it, Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And the crazy thing is I've heard of people going off of it because they just want to keep crushing pizza and beer, and they miss it, and they resent that they can't live that life, but also still lose weight.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I have so I tried getting a couple of coworkers on it, and I got a couple of them on it. And they both came off of it, and they say they didn't like the way that made them feel. But I didn't really notice that, or if I did, maybe I felt that way because I smoked and I drank and everything anyway, so I felt fatigued or whatever they were feeling anyway, and I just have gotten used to it. I don't know if that's part of it.
Well, John, you'd mentioned that on tirzepatide, things like that, what people really makes them feel badly is they eat foods that would normally make you feel not great, but since tirzepatide makes the food last so much longer, so if you, I don't know, pound a couple of handfuls of fuzzy peaches, like those gummy things, you might have a little bit of gut rot for 10, 15 minutes and then go on with your day. But on tirzepatide, that might last hours, right? Yeah. So without changing your diet, it can be kind of gross.
Yeah, that's
what it is.
Yeah. Well, and everyone just reacts slightly differently. You just don't know. And I thought you brought up a great point, Zach. If you just normalize that feeling, and then all right, that's just kind of how eating feels. And if it's been long enough, you don't know how much better it could feel. You just kind of, this is how it feels.
Yeah. And that's something else I've noticed too, is that the people that I've seen take it, I haven't seen anybody else change their diet. So
Yes.
a couple of them I've asked is like, okay, so you're taking it. You're noticing that you're losing weight. I said, what are you doing? Did you change your diet at all? No, I'm still doing the same thing. I'm just eating less of it. So it's like, okay, that's not going to work long term, I don't think. But
not long term. It can work for some amount of time, but if your diet was exceptionally, let's say, difficult on your GIT or gastrointestinal system, this is just going to make it feel even more difficult. So it would lend itself. I mean, it's the perfect. It greases the railways, however you say it, to change your diet. Yeah. Like, it makes it way easier to change your diet when you're not, when the food gremlin isn't just poking, saying, eat this. When you kind of just don't have it, it's really easy to just pick what you're going to eat.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, this is
fantastic.
To the end here. This was a great story. And do you have a final thought for people who might be on the fence that are currently in the position you are in and just don't know what to do? Like, what's your 2 sentences guidance if they're listening right now, saying, what should I do?
Oh, well, do it anyway. I mean, what do you really want? You know?
Yep.
I mean, that's what it comes down to, in my opinion. Like, do you really want to lose the weight? You can lose the weight. There's ways to do that now. So,
yeah. I think if I would take from Zach's story, I think it doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to be consistent, right? Like, you just you realize, I can't work out, but I can do diet stuff. I don't know really what to do. Hey, ChatGPT is a great resource. I'll get it to do it for me. And then you're just stuck with it, which was amazing. So yeah, you do a really good job of dispelling the idea it has to be super complicated, or it has to involve hours in the gym, a specific type of workout where you sweat till you puke kind of thing. You just sort of like, no, I'm just going to dial it in on diet wise and let that do the work. So in a way, you intervened as little as possible with your diet, with your body, which is kind of cool.
Yep. And you got exceptional results and enormous results with a bullet list of cut out sugar, cut out alcohol, cut out caffeine, counted calories, and ate less. That's about as mundane as you can get, but as profound of a result as you could possibly get.
Yeah.
And
good job.
So that's it. So thanks for coming on the show. That's going to help a lot of people. Like, I hope a lot of people get exposed to this, because it is that straightforward. But to your point, what do you want? You have to commit, and it's still effort, but you have to commit.
Oh, for sure. But it literally is that simple. And all I do is I trained a ChatGPT model, said, okay, here are the specific regions of food that I like, or, here's what I want, here's what I don't want, and then it's that simple. Just having to go through and build your recipes that way. I just ask it. I want the most filling thing with the least amount of calories possible. Like, seriously, I was doing that for the longest time. So
it's amazing.
I mean,
how easy it was. So
yeah.
Well, I mean, that's one of the better uses for chat, I would say.
Oh, absolutely. Beautiful.
All right. What do you think? I appreciate that. Thanks for coming on.
That's super great to meet you. Yeah, thanks for coming on. That was awesome.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for what you do. You guys are right about a lot of stuff. So.
All right.
Awesome.
Well,
thanks so much, Zach.
We appreciate it. All right. Thanks. So for Zach Zion and Brad Pilon, I'm John Barban, and that's your Phi Life Podcast.
Awesome.